We will start with the last part of the chapter biological classification. In this part, we will read about the kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, the virus, viroids and lichens. So first of all, the kingdom Plantae. We know that it includes all the plants, green in color plants. They are all multicellular eukaryotes and they have a cell wall which is made up of cellulose. They are autotrophs and they have chlorophyll, so they are able to do the photosynthesis. Some of them are insectivorous and some are parasites. Bladderworth and Venus flytrap are insectivorous. Quisquetia is a parasite, which is also known as amarbale. Plants include the algae, the bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. We will read about them later in the next chapter. The life cycle of the plant has two distinct phases, the diploid sporophytic phase and the haploid gametophytic phase. The diploid sporophytic phase is a plant body itself, and this plant body bears the gametophytic phase or the gametes. So this gametophytic phase bears, so this is known as alteration of generation. Talking about the classification of plants, the plants are divided into two main types: those which do not bear seeds, that means seeds are hidden in them, they can't be seen, and those which have seeds in them. Seed bearing plants are called cryptogams, and the phanerogams are those which do not have seeds. So these cryptogams are again further divided into thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. Thallophyta are those plants which have a thallus like body, that means the body is not divided into root, stem and leaf. The bryophytes are those which have either a proper root system, they have a proper root or shoot system. Then the pteridophytes, they also have a well developed either root system or shoot system. Then thallophytes do not have a vascular system, neither do the bryophytes, but the pteridophytes have a vascular system, that means xylem and phloem is present, which carries the water and minerals. Then the reproduction is sexual and asexual type in all of them. These thallophyta are again further divided into algae and lichens. The bryophyta are divided into mosses, liverworts and hornworts, and the pteridophytes are the ferns. We will read about them later in the next chapter. Then gymnosperms and angiosperms are the types of phanerogams. That means the phanerogams are further divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms are naked seeded plants, that means the seeds are not covered by the fruit. Angiosperms are those which have the seeds are covered with the fruit. So they are also called flowering plants, and these seeds, the gymnosperms are they have the reproductive organs. Their reproductive organs are called cones. They are evergreen, and they are also known as, their examples is cycads. Then angiosperms are monocots and dicotyledonous plants. Talking about the kingdom plant Animalia, Animalia are those animals. This main difference between animals and plants, we can see that animals are not able to make their own food and they are able to move about. So we can distinguish the main differences are this. So animals, they include the organisms which multicellular eukaryotes without a cell wall. They are heterotrophic organisms. They directly or indirectly depend on the plant for food. So that means they cannot make their own food, and the food that is reserved in them goes in the form of glycogen inside their body. The mode of food is holozoic. That means they ingest their food through their mouth or with the help of pseudopodia, or some outer food goes into the mouth and digestion occurs inside the body. They follow a definite growth pattern and grow in adults that have definite shape and size. So they have a growth pattern. They become from the childhood, then they grow adult, and then they become old, and then they die. So their shape also changes. That means they grow. So higher forms show elaborate sensory and motor mechanism. That means they have a well developed nervous system, you can say, or sensory system. They're able to sense their environment, and they are able to move. Movement from one place to another is called locomotion. Then their sexual reproduction is by copulation. Talking about the various levels of organization, various types of animals, or you can say various in the hierarchy. The animals are multicellular, and they are divided according to the levels of organization, the symmetry, body cavity and phylum. According to the various phylums are as follows. So first of all, the cellular level is the porifera. That means the cells are aggregated to form the body, that is porifera, the lowest division or the lowest phylum. Then tissue level of organization is found in the rest of them, from Coelenterata, Stenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes till chordates. Then talking about the tissue or level of organization can be symmetrical, symmetry is radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Radial symmetry means cylindrical body or star-like body. So these are the coelentrates and stenophora. Talking about the bilateral symmetry, in which the body can be divided into two equal parts, identical parts. So that is a bilateral symmetry. So those are again divided into according to the presence and absence of body cavity. Some of them which do not have body cavity are called acoelomates, and they are the only platyhelminthes, that is the flatworms. Then those which have false body cavity, they are called pseudocoelomates, they are the aschelminthes. So yeah, that which we call as the roundworms. Then the true coeloms are found in annelids. Annelids are the earthworms, arthropods are the insect, or you can say cockroaches, and mollusca are like shelled animals, echinoderms like the starfish, hemichordata like balanoglossus, and chordata like we human beings. So this is a broad classification of animal kingdom which we will read in the next 4th or 5th chapter. So then come to the lichens, virus and viroids. Viruses are non-cellular organisms, that means they do not have a cell body. They have having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. Inert means which does not react so much with anyone, interact with so much. Okay, they are obligate parasites, that means they are parasites. The virus means venom, poison, and it was the name given by Pasteur. So what is the body made up of? The body is made up of one protein capsule, and inside it either an RNA or DNA is present. The protein coat is called capsule, and it is made up of subunits called capsomeres. It protects the nucleic acid. This nucleic acid means DNA or RNA. DNA full form is deoxyribose nucleic acid. RNA full form is ribose nucleic acid. So these capsomeres are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometrical forms. Viruses are very deadly. They cause disease like mumps, smallpox, influenza, AIDS. In plants also, tobacco mosaic virus cause mosaic, then leaf rolling, curling, yellowing, vein clearing, dwarfing, stunted growth, etc. Viroids are smaller than the viruses. The viroids was found to be a free RNA. It does not have a protein coat. So only an RNA is found in the air or anywhere. So then they do not have a protein coat. Hence the name is viroid. The RNA of the viroid was of low molecular weight, and it caused potato spindle tuber disease. Then the lichens. Lichens are the symbiotic association of algae and fungi. This algal component is known as phycobiont, and fungal component is called mycobiont. So the phycobiont is autotrophic, it can prepare food, and the mycobiont has it's a hypha which we read in the fungus. So this hypha brings the raw materials for the phycobiont to prepare food. In turn, the mycobiont or the fungus gives it shelter. So alga prepare food for the fungi, and the fungi provide shelter and absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. So close to their association, that if one saw a lichen in nature, we will never imagine that there are two organisms. They are so well associated. Lichens are very good pollution indicators. They do not grow in polluted areas. So they do not grow in areas which show sulfur dioxide contamination. So here is the end of the chapter, and so we end our second chapter here.